Sooner Nation, what is up? It's Saturday night. What a great win tonight. We'll get into our 3 takeaways from this game. Before we get started, make sure you are part of Sooner Surge YouTube, but not just that, Sooner Surge Unlimited. Get on board. Join the Discord server. We'll have it in the comment section. It's on our channel. Make sure you join up on that. $4.99 a month gets you a whole lot of communication 24/7 with us and the Sooner Surge community. And right now, guys, 28-11, Palace on the Prairie. Tough opponent. Kudos to SMU. There's a whole lot we could talk about after this game tonight. But we're going to give our 3 takeaways. We'll start with you, Jay. 3 takeaways from tonight, guys.
I mean, I'm just going to start. I'll say the defense, okay? The one thing you can take away from this game is that this defense is built different than the last I don't know how many years. It just is. They got depth. Talked about it all off season, competitive depth. But not only depth, they're actually playing depth. I mean, you look at guys, they went deep into the backfield of the defense. You talk about Keyshawn Lawrence in there, RSJ, defensive backs. You had Keyshawn Walker play a ton. Gentry Williams kind of got banged up there at the beginning. So they went deep in there. I think Vickers, Brody, didn't Seabolt get in too?
Yes, Makari played. Keyshawn Walker played a lot, and he looked good.
So
Wagner.
And then linebacker, they played Kip, they played Kobe, they played Kanik, Stutzman, and this defense is just different. And Bowen had a tremendous game. Okay, you got the block punt from Payton Bowen. You got the knockdown on 4th down with the almost interception, would have been a pick 6 probably. The guy's always in the right spot. He made an awesome play on the tight end in the end zone. Just awesome coverage. And they threw the flag because it's Big 12 refs and they suck. But that was a great play by Bowen. And he's going to be unreal. I mean, he's a true freshman, second game, and look what he's doing. This defense is different. Last year's defense would have broke. Promise you.
Venables said that in the postgame. He said they would have found a way to lose that game last year.
Yeah, they were on the field a lot the second and third quarter especially, and they just kept fighting and getting off the field. And the pass rush, I'm going to hear people probably say the pass rush, they didn't get sacks. Good. They had a good pass rush tonight as far as Bothroyd, Ford. They made some downs. They were making them go a little bit earlier. So overall, I think one takeaway you can take is that this defense is built different. And it's getting back. And the best thing about this defense, go watch it right now. Go watch it on film. Go watch the whole game again. You're going to see maybe 1 or 2 missed tackles. They don't. There's not a whole lot of swing and misses anymore. They hit hard. They knock you down.
And they are not at full strength whatsoever.
No.
Arguably, the biggest addition through the transfer portal, Deshaun McCullough, didn't play tonight. Gentry Williams was banged up since the first drive. Keyshawn Walker came in and he played great, and that just speaks to the depth that this team has. R. Mason Thomas.
They didn't play depth last year. They were worried to play depth. Remember?
I mean, they played a lot of guys tonight. I mean, they played 6. I think it was 6 of their top 6 safeties. What was it? Bowman, Pearson, Lawrence, RSJ. So 5 safeties. I don't think I've ever witnessed an OU team that has gone that deep in the safety room and has had no drop off whatsoever.
And it wasn't a blowout game.
I was going to say not in tight games. And Brody, you mentioned Deshaun McCullough. I mean, that's a massive loss not having him out there. I'm hoping he's back. Probably
Harrington
in 2 weeks.
had a great game.
Hey, that's what I was going to say. Harrington was great tonight, and you saw how angry he got even when he would make a small mistake. That tells me that dude is body in. He's all in on this.
Hey, and one other guy, put him in the finals of the Butkus Award. Danny Stutzman, 18
Danny
tackles.
Stutzman.
The guy was a machine tonight.
And a sack.
Yeah, he was a machine.
Hey, I'm just thankful they didn't call that targeting early on.
Too.
I mean, he put a helmet right in the chest.
I thought they were going to call it these Big 12
And guys, but even if they would have called that targeting, one thing that stands out to me is they would not have had as big as a drop-off as last year. I mean,
Stutzman is huge, though.
Yeah, yes, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you're not look, they were in the 4th quarter, and Jeremy, you mentioned this on the live, and they're subbing in Kobe McKenzie and Kip Lewis. Like, just the ability to be able to do that, to give Danny Stutzman a break, I think just, raises the overall play out of everyone. And Kip Lewis, man, he's a dog. This is not someone who's just going to come up and be a backup. Kip Lewis can play meaningful snaps throughout this whole season.
Hey, and he was a dog also on special teams.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he hit the return man on the punt once. He was the guy who went and recovered the punt, I think, or got over by it on the punt block. So he was great. Hey, my big takeaway, what, Jake?
One last play I have to say real quick, because Key Lawrence's forced fumble was
I'm glad you brought up Key Lawrence.
Huge.
Key Lawrence had a lot of great plays in the run stop, and his fumble, that was massive. The game would have gone completely different if he doesn't strip that out.
Yeah.
And, I think I mentioned it to some people on, like, some of y'all. Key Lawrence always trying to strip it, but then the one time, like, he actually got it, and that was huge. He plays with a lot of energy. Truly one of the players you just love watching out there as OU fan.
Hey, and one last thing before I say my takeaway, Jay, and Brody, is on the defensive side, you got guys like R. Mason Thomas seems to me to be more of just a pass rush guy. And then you talk about Key Lawrence. He's really great at run stop. That is the benefit they have this year, is these guys can kind of specialize. You don't need them to be both because they're so deep. My takeaway, and I know I'm going to get a lot of people that are probably on board here too, is I am not sure what is going on with DG in the big games. And I know some people would say, well, maybe it's Levy. I am concerned about Dylan Gabriel making progressions and reads in tight ball games. I don't like that he does, and maybe I'll not want to have said this later if he's throwing interceptions, but he's never been high on interceptions because he's never been high on taking risks and chances. Nick Anderson, Gibson, Anthony, Stogner. I mean, can we throw one jump ball? Farouk, can we throw one jump ball down the field? Can we throw a deep ball? OU. I don't understand. I'm not saying it's all DG. Maybe it's Levy, but he does seem to get happy feet when there's some pressure. He does seem to dump it very quickly. Now, I'll have to watch film because it's still too close after the game. But here's what DG did great tonight. He got 4 touchdowns. He did not turn the ball over. He scrambled a few times. That was good. And then he did lead them on the 10-play, 75-yard drive after SMU had cut it to 3. Kudos for leading that. He made a great throw to Major, and Major made a great play on that. But he did have to put that ball outside of Major because of where the defender was on that. And then he made the great slant pass to Drake Stoops, right, on the same drive. And then Farouk as well, a play down the middle. But I'm not sure, guys, on DG. It just, I don't know.
Hey, DG loves Andrell Anthony, and that was apparent tonight. He had 9 targets and what was it, a 32% team target share tonight. The Andrell Anthony is clearly the number 1 target, but I think DG also needs to find Jalil Farouk more because we saw what happened when Jalil Farouk got the ball. Yep. And I'm not going to sit on here and say DG is the reason at all for the game being that close. I simply think that is not true, right? DG just he's got to be a little bit more. He's got to play a little bit more risk-free, or not risk-free. He's got to, take more risks. But I did like the way he ran the ball tonight. There was a couple times when the pocket collapsed and DG was able to run as opposed to taking a sack. So there were some positives. I just think with the cards he was dealt, I'm saying with the play calling, he couldn't have played a excellent game tonight.
Yeah, I would say that, and I backed Levy so much last year, and I still think Levy's a stud offensive play caller, offensive mind. I think this might have been one of Levy's worst called games in his time at OU, other than Texas when he had Davis Bevel. But I think they didn't help Gabriel all in that aspect. But at the same time, you bring Jackson Arnold in, okay? Jackson Arnold is not a Wildcat quarterback. I repeat myself. Jackson Arnold is not a Wildcat quarterback. Jackson Arnold is a 5-star quarterback who can throw the ball all over the field. If you're going to bring Jackson Arnold in on 4th and 1 or 2 or 3rd and 2 or whatever, do something. The guy can throw the ball. So, and maybe that's just they want to give another look for whoever they're playing. I get it, but I think it was a bad. I think it was a bad game for Levy personally. I'd like to hear his post-game conference to hear what he was thinking about, and maybe he was thinking 2 safeties deep. We should be able to run the ball, and they just weren't running the ball that well.
I know Arnold wears number 10, but he's not Blake Bell.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, the O-line wasn't near as good, though, Jay, and we'll get maybe to that. I know Brody's going to give his take in a second, but I'm also shocked that Petaway didn't get in there any for a little slip
Well,
screen quick.
Freeman didn't get a whole lot.
No, I was shocked that we didn't see.
When he got it, though.
He dropped one, but he wasn't in the game a whole lot.
Hey, but Petaway, we didn't even get him in there, and he had nine receptions last week on flare screens that might have been working. I mean, we seem to love the flare screen early tonight.
Well,
Brody, what's your takeaway, Brody?
That's what I'm saying, though, is Freeman. Like, if you're struggling on offense and the guy that everybody, freaky guy makes plays, what about a quick little reverse to him and see what change it up,
Yeah, my takeaway is right here. 20 rushes, 117 yards, 3 receptions, and 25 yards. Toby Walker. He is not just the walk-on who was, got rewarded for his hard work and put at the top of the depth chart. Toby Walker is going to be a legit contributor on this Oklahoma Sooners team this year. The offense and Marcus Major, he ended up playing a good game. Great game. Actually, I think Major was very good in the fourth quarter. But there was a difference with the offense when Toby Walker was in there in that first half. Toby Walker was making things go. Toby Walker, watching him run, it's like I'm watching Samaje Perine wearing number 29. Toby Walker was bouncing off guys, making things happen, falling forward. I think he has to have a large role in this offense. I don't know who the more passing down running back is going to be, but Toby Walker, he's looked like the best running back by far.
But Brody,
where's Barnes and Sawchuk?
Where are the other two guys who everyone talked about and all of us even talked about? Why are they not getting any run?
I'm not sure, and I find it a little weird myself. Like, I was confused why Gavin Sawchuk didn't play until late in the beginning of the third quarter. I found that very confusing.
Barnes only had 2 carries.
Yeah, Barnes, from what I've seen so far, I've been more impressed with Toby Walker as opposed to Javonte Barnes. Barnes, I think sometimes he needs to run to space a little bit more than he does. Sawchuk, we haven't seen any, but I'm just saying, judging based off everything I've seen so far, Toby Walker is the best running back on the team.
And Marcus Major may be the home run threat.
He might be, but
Major is better in space than he is in
they were using Major wrong in that first half, which I just said he had a bad first half. That's because they were using him wrong. The way it's because the O-line was bad. Exceeded so much was because the way that way they were running those runs, that run scheme, he's way better of a fit in than what Marcus Major was. Major can't run those.
O-line was bad. Savion Byrd got benched early. He came back in the fourth, but he got benched. He got ripped out of the game. Everett came in and played pretty good, honestly, because he was a guy that we thought was going to be. He's the backup center, so for him to move over, I thought he did some good things. But the O-line's got to be better.
The O-line does have to be better.
Toby Walker is a Samaje Perine type guy. Perine type guy.
He is going to be a contributor.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's going to be the bell cow running back. I'm saying that he's going to be one of those guys getting a good amount of reps each game, and I like that. Toby Walker, he brings a lot to the table. He's a different type of running back. He's different than anyone else they have on this team. You can just see the way he was bouncing off guys tonight, so hard to bring down. I mean, he's very good.
And fans, what are your 3 takeaways from the Sooner win tonight, 28-11 against SMU? What we all agree may be one of the toughest top 4 opponents of the season. Texas right now has scored and gone up on Bama pretty good. Looks like they're going to maybe hold on to win this game. So some tough games coming ahead. OU's got to figure some things out, but we're going to listen to the post game and Brent Venables. I'm sure he's going to have some good thoughts on this. And right now, you guys drop your questions and comments here on the Sooner Surge and be part of what's going on at the Sooner Surge. Good win tonight, boys. Till next time. Boomer.
Boomer.